Okay, we're live, everyone. I know it's a couple minutes early, but you'll be able to catch this on the replay if you miss the live. I'm not going to be able to focus too much on comments. This is just a review, kind of a backstory on this. I have been trying to do this review, filming. Oh no, it's a couple minutes early, but and there's my. Sorry, I have it on my computer screen too. So I have been trying to do this review a couple of times, and I have not been able to load it up. I've tried numerous different options to get the video footage, which is about 10 minutes long, to all sorts of different platforms or delivered different ways onto my computer. Sending it to Facebook straight from my phone. I've tried all sorts of different ways to get this particular review done, and it has just not been working. I don't know if my video files are corrupted on my phone, what's going on with my phone. It's been pretty crazy when it comes to me trying to get this review done. So we're going to start doing live reviews of tarot and oracle decks every other Tuesday, just to give people an idea as to what's in the deck and how the deck works, some of my feelings and interactions and experience with the deck. Hi, Jaspina. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I know I pronounced that wrong. Hi guys. So I really tried to do a really professional sort of video twice now, and I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna have to do it live. So hopefully this is an event that people will really like to do and see done every other Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. So our first deck is the Celtic Dragon Tarot deck. This is the very, very first tarot deck I ever had. I received, my mom did purchase it for me. I picked it out. She purchased it for me as a gift. Previously, I had been reading with playing cards, which is a fun experience in and of itself. So this was my very, very first tarot deck. I was about, I want to say I was 20 or 21 when I received it. So it's been with me for almost 20 years. I'm fastly approaching that 40 number. So yeah, it's been in my possession. I've been using it for quite some time. So let's dive into it. I'm going to show you guys the guidebook first. It's very nice. It's quite large here. I really liked the guidebook because when you look at it, it's very straightforward. Kind of gives you a outline as to the Fool and you know, kind of a background story, and then it gives you this meaning. And these meanings are typically very short meanings, so they're kind of short, to the point. I really like them. For me, as a beginner with the tarot deck, I found it to be very easy to digest and take in and understand. This particular, and I know I say a lot, I'm so sorry. I'm working through that. This guide has the layouts towards the back. I find that most guides have them in the front, which is nice. This one has them in the back. So these are the layouts that came. I really liked using this one when I was first using the deck. Came with these layouts here. And then really cool thing about this particular guide is it comes with candle spells that you can do with your tarot cards. And as somebody who was just starting on their path, this was really cool so that I could incorporate tarot into my spell casting, into my practice. It was just amazing to me. So that's something that I don't typically find in a lot of deck guides, is these candle spells or any type of spells that you can do with your tarot cards. And it also has meditations. I used to record these and listen to them on playback. So there's some pretty cool meditations in this book. And then your bibliography. So this book is just, it's got a whole bunch of fun little information. It does explain a key thing in this book. And that is, this deck does not come with a devil card. So this being my first deck ever, I was kind of ignorant because I didn't realize that the devil card was a common card to have in your deck. I kind of skipped through the introduction and went straight to the card meanings because I wanted to get into it. And so it took me quite some time to realize that my deck was slightly different, and that's actually something that I see pretty commonplace in a lot of the decks that I own that are tarot. Tarot, if you've read the things that I've written, you're familiar with it. It's typically on a fixed system. 72 cards, 21 major cards, and then you have your 4 suits of the minor cards. The suits can change. Typically the suits do represent some sort of element as well. But again, learning, I had no idea that a devil card was something that was commonplace until I was really into it and learning deeply beyond this particular deck. So it is an amazing deck. So I'm going to show you the major cards and then the 4 suits. So let me pull these. Okay. So I'm going to show you because I like looking at the artwork. And the cool thing about this particular deck is you will find symbolisms everywhere in the ground, especially in the rocks. There's some symbols in the trees sometimes, in the smoke. And that's how I learned to, when your eye is drawn to certain symbols on the card, you really want to pay attention to the message that those symbols have to offer. So that really was a helpful thing for me to learn when starting out, was pay attention to the symbols and notice those subtle things that kind of draw your eye. So these are just, they are very, very pretty, well detailed. I really like the Lover's card in this deck. I think it really does explain what the Lover card means with the imagery. Again, we've got some symbols on the rocks here. This one's got a lot of the symbols in the rocks. Look at all those faces and everything. It's so beautiful. I love it. This is one of my very favorite death cards. I think it really shows what death represents as far as the meaning in tarot. When people see the death card in some decks, they panic because it kind of looks foreboding. And they see the word death, and of course they think it's a bad card. But I think this card really shows what death means in a tarot deck. So I think it's just so breathtaking. Now this is where you would find the Devil card. It's replaced with the Chains card. Now, as far as I understand it, with all of the decks that I have and the meanings and interpretations, the Chains card does have similar, if not spot on, the same exact meanings as the Devil card. This particular deck creator, just decided to replace the Devil card with the Chains card. So that's the one that's been changed, and you'll see as we do the reviews some other tarot decks that have changed the names or the card completely. It's another one with some really cool symbols going on. So here, those are your major card, your 21 cards. And then we have the minor cards. We have wands. So here are wands. I believe with this deck, wands are air. Swords are fire. And that's how I learned it, was wands were air and swords are fire, instead of the swords being air and the wands being fire. So that was also another confusing thing to me when I did branch off into other decks. Then you have the cups. Cups are water. And then the pentacles, and I really like the pentacles because they're kind of subtle as to where the pentacles are. I'll just show you a few. See, she's holding dragons that are wearing pentacles. They're drawing pentacles on the door. She's carrying pentacles. The pentacles are on the ground. The pentacles are in the rocks. This one again, pentacles are drawn in the rocks. Let's see here. Where's the... Oh, this one is kind of tricky. You actually have to look really hard to see where all the stars are in this particular card. So they're pretty hidden in that one. 9 of Pentacles, there's 3 there. There's 3 here, 4, 5. So yeah, I liked the Pentacles cards because it is not straightforward as to where she got really inventive as to where she placed the pentacles in these images. So very, very pretty deck. I would say thank you, Irene. This is not a reading or a training video. This is just a review to give people an idea as to what this particular deck looks like, what to expect from it, and just my experience, my thoughts on it. So I would say that this deck is actually really good for beginners. Again, the guidebook is very straightforward, very simple, easy to learn, easy to follow. It's got a lot of information, and it's got other ways that you can use your cards. So if you're beginning with tarot and also beginning in your craft, you can incorporate these cards in any spell crafting that you do, meditations. I loved this deck as my first deck, and I would recommend, as far as a tarot deck goes, absolutely, this is a great deck to start off with. Beautiful artwork, very straightforward, easy to learn. I love the energy. The interesting part, though, as far as my experience is with this deck, and I was kind of wondering if that's why I can't upload a video that I pre-recorded, is this deck is very shy. And the reason I say that is because this deck, I can only read for family members. I've never been able to do a reading with this deck online, with a client in person, at fairs. This deck will only give me readings for family members. And when I tried to do it for other people, I would pull the same cards that I pulled previously for a family member that I did reading for. Or the message is just, and if you are a reader and you're a seasoned reader, you've gone through a couple of decks, the messages typically flow. You can see where the messages are through the symbolisms, through the card placement. When I read for anyone outside of my family, the messages are so jumbled and confusing. I'm looking at my cards going, I don't know what they're saying. They're speaking a foreign language to me right now. But if I put it in front of my husband or my mother, they're just straightforward saying, you know, here's your message. So my experience with this particular deck is these dragons are shy. If you're looking for a deck to be much more vocal and social, I'm not sure if these dragons would be that kind of deck for you. I know it's not that kind of deck for me. So that's why I kind of have that warning for other people, is because that's my experience, is they are very shy and they only like to read for family members, people very close to you. And that's been my only sort of negative, it's not really negative, but that's been my experience with the cards as to their limitations. Other than that, I find very little limitations with this deck when it comes to what a tarot deck can offer you. I feel that oracle cards and tarot cards, because tarot cards are on a fixed system, oracle cards do have quite a range. The oracle cards do communicate very different things than tarot cards can. But as far as a tarot deck goes, I would recommend this for a beginner. I would recommend this for anyone who enjoys dragons, especially dragon energy. Anyone who enjoys kind of hidden symbolisms. I really found that to be really neat. And a straightforward sort of guidebook that really helps you understand the basics of the card. So that's my recommendation. That's my review for our Celtic Dragon Tarot. Yeah, I have found that some decks don't do well with readings towards yourself. And there's a whole lesson that I am putting together when it comes to my feelings and experience when I do read for myself. It actually took me quite a number of years to start reading for myself. But I'll explain that all when I do put that in the workshop that I'm putting together. So yeah, it may just mean that you need a different deck. So now I am planning on, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. Like I said, I want to do this every other Tuesday. I'm going to show you the first Oracle deck that I got, which is the Mermaids and Dolphins deck. And I'm going to try to alternate. I don't know if I have enough tarot decks. I will admit, I have more Oracle decks than I do tarot decks. I work very well with the Oracle, and I like that each deck has a different sort of set of cards, and phraseology and meanings, and it's just the sky's the limit when it comes to Oracle cards. So I really like that about them. So I really do have a lot more Oracle decks than I do tarot, because again, tarot tends to be on a fixed system, so there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to tarot, but that also makes them so much on a different level of enjoyment when it comes to readings. So, because if I sit down across a tarot card reader, I know what those cards mean that she's putting in front of me. I want to know her interpretation and see if it blends well with my interpretation and understanding of the tarot cards. So that's one of the things that I really take away when it comes to tarot. You're welcome, Irene. Thank you guys for joining me live for this review. I really tried to do kind of a professional video for you guys twice. I filmed this twice and it didn't work, and I don't know if something with my phone, if there's some sort of corruption going on with my videos, or it's just the deck itself. But I figured, why not do this live? We can take some questions as well, talk about some things that you probably want to look at. I hope I showed you the artwork well and really did a good review for you guys, because that's really what I want to do, is the best review that I possibly can for you. That's interesting, Christine. And you know, you can message me and we can talk about that a little bit more later. Or you can sign up for my workshop. I am still putting together my workshop. I'm hoping to have it done by October. But with everything that's been going on in my life personally, in the world around us, it's looking like it's going to have to be delayed until January. Do like a first of the year sort of thing. It's just been kind of hectic with illnesses and hospitalizations and work and some of the projects that we have going on, some of the agencies we have involved in our lives. It's just, this year has been so crazy. It's thrown us for a loop. And a lot of things have gotten delayed, put on pause, or had to be reconsidered for a different opening time. I do need to reopen my mentoring. I'm working on that to be in a place where I can do my mentoring again. I am putting together a group for people in the mentoring program and the tarot workshop. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that I'm working on and putting together, but they kind of have to get pushed aside because of family things and things that have come up due to COVID or other situations that have come up in our lives. I'm still working on them, being very diligent on it. It's had to be delayed a little bit more. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can get this workshop put together and finalized for October, because October is an amazing time to start doing card work. So I'm really hoping, guys. Oh, you're awesome too. Thank you. You're right. Okay, guys, I'm going to close this out. I sure hope you got some really great information from this. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments, or any suggestions. I have like 56 decks, so we have a lot of decks to go through. If there's anything that you want me to kind of focus on when doing my reviews or keep in mind, I am very open to feedback. I love hearing your feedback and incorporating that so that I can better your experience and my approach. Okay, guys, I will talk to you guys later. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and live readings are going to be August 8th. Yeah, Saturday, August 8th. So look forward to that. I'll talk to y'all later. Blessed be.